Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Site. Today we have game 4 of Lady of the Lake, where I'll be playing the Goblins still, and we'll be going up against Jesse Burgland and his Twilightkin. So Jesse's going to Masters this upcoming weekend, and this is the exact list he's taken. So it's definitely going to be a good game. So let's go ahead and jump into the list, and we'll go over the game. So Jesse's got the Twilightkin, and he's going Impaler heavy. He's got two troops of phantoms. He's got three regiments of impalers, and then three hordes of impalers. One has Helm of the Ram, and the other has a Brew of Strength. Two void skiffs, both with blood hex. Planar apparition, navigator with the sacred horn. A crone with Banechant and Scorched Earth, which I thought was an interesting choice. I like Banechant, but yeah. And then he has two Soul Banes on Nightmares, one with Blade of Slashing, one with Mace Crushing. So this brings him up to 15 drops, 24 unit strength. So this is the board we're playing on. And against Jesse, I really wish I still had control available. But off of all of the scenarios I had, none of them seemed too great. So I I chose Pillage. I think that was one of the better ones. I think I would have chosen Dominate if I had the option, just to kind of force him to come up the field. But not maybe Invade would have been better. But as you can see, this huge impassable piece is right in the middle of the board, so can't really play Dominate on this board. Or maybe we could have, and yeah. But anyway, I chose Pillage and placed the tokens down. Those are these little mat things. There's only 3 Pillage tokens. They're each worth a point. And Jesse was able to pick the side, so he picked the side that had 2 of the tokens closer. So, and then Jesse also picked kill the most expensive, which is his 3 hordes of impalers. So he's playing very defensively in the matchup. So yeah, so we lost the roll off for first for sides, which was pretty big. We don't have the scenarios we really wanted to play either, so this is going to be an uphill one. But here's Jesse. First time playing him on the channel here, but Jesse and I have played several times going way back. So, but I think everybody so far has been a first time on the channel with Casey and Kyle Peach and now Jesse. So that's always great to get some new faces. So, so deployment looks like this, and as you can see, Jesse deployed in the corner, rightfully so. So yeah, nothing on the left hand side, just some stuff to block up over here and here. So, um, horde, horde, all 3 regiments, a dread fiend, skiff, both impaler or not impaler, both phantoms on the left. Mind Screech there's Knight Champion in the middle. I'm pretty sure there's Navigator sitting somewhere in the middle there, and Crone as well. So, yep, very tight knit bunch, just like how Twilightkin won. I went ahead and put both chariots out on the flank here, with the horde of goblins that's able to run forward. Another horde that'll run forward. The Knight Champion. We got a horde with all 3 wingets. Horde with all 3 sharps or war trombones, Double Horden up here, Mincer on the edge, and the Lightning Bolt battery here with the guy, Army Standard Bearer, and the 3 bolt throwers. So yeah, we don't have great shots, but I mean we're shooting defense 6 mostly, and otherwise we can't really see. So it's not great shooting lanes. It's not great much of anything for us, unfortunately. So, um, but it is what it is. So the goal is hopefully our fast stuff can force him to either distribute enough stuff to the left, and then we could just punch forward through, with the shooting to punch, get through stuff maybe, or maybe sneak around with some stuff from the left and then break open his lines. But we'll, we need to make a hole somewhere. That's our goal. So. We do get first turn, which is nice, but the bolt throwers don't do anything. They did like 3 wounds total, and I'm shooting at what's called one of his dread fiends, just because it's not defense 6. I figure if I can take out the dread fiend that was there, get lucky. I mean, we had all the lightning bolt, we had all the bolt throwers with elite. But yeah, only did like 3 wounds total, and he's definitely gonna heal that up with his planer. So yeah, but then started pushing forward on the left. So Jesse, yep, this is what it looks like for us. We're just keeping the regiment back here to hold that token. It's Jesse's starting to move here, but this is after Jesse's turn, so he's just moving up to see past this hill with all of his stuff, and yeah, so so pretty straightforward. He has no range threat. His heal still works even though he's spell warding himself. Yep. So he's full health. No big deal here. Yeah. So and he's popping stealthy spell ward with his navigator every turn he can. Just assume that's always up. So these impalers are impossible to shoot. Likewise with the nightmares as well, basically, because they're also getting stealthy spell wards. So yeah, not fun. Yeah, so this is our turn 2, move up again, shoot a couple of shoot some shots because we got them. Do a few wounds here, but nothing nothing's worth sticking, not enough anyway. But yeah, we're just trying to I mean, we entice him to come forward. That's not the worst thing in the world, but we do need to stretch his lines out if we can. So, yeah, shooting doesn't do enough. But one thing that did happen is he rolls max for his wild charge on this unit here, which allows him to just barely be within 13 inches here. So he does get a charge off against that horde. Um, yeah, don't really care. It's rabble, but still something that maybe you shouldn't have done it. I don't know. Then he actually moves up. He had to move some stuff out of the way to get that, so he charged in with his character and the horde. This horde or regiment moved up. He's still just trying to play defensively over here on the left. Um, but we have moved around. We got the chariots and the knight champion over there that are in threatening positions. One thing he did do is these void skiffs, which were looking left, he turned them to face looking forward because he was afraid of the wingets jumping over the line and getting into a position where nothing else was looking right here. So he wanted to make sure he had an answer for wingets jumping into this pocket here. He does kill the horde, and this is how it ends up. His Cloak of Death is annoying, obviously, but so my turn. Then this is how we're looking. It's sorry, this impassable is annoying, but yeah, we do some things, interesting things here. Biggest thing is over on this side of the board, our chariot and our knight champion were in range of the and able to see this half hidden phantom unit, and you'll see only this phantom unit is the only thing that's covering them. So yeah, that this is definitely the opening we wanted, and it's happening on top of three, which helps us out for sure. So we're going into that, and we're trying to shoot the other phantom unit. Just trying to pick on the weak things. So yeah, so very happy with that possibility here. And then in the front, we're gonna try to shoot here. So him taking this charge also drug him out of the navigator's stealthy spell word range with this unit. So the navigator's behind the hill over here. It's not in range. So we have flank shots with these guys. We have front shots with all of this. And then the other thing that was opened up is Magua, being an individual, was able to charge his knight champion. We are hindered, but um, Magua with the duelist is definitely the best thing to go into the knight champion. This also kind of prevents the knight champion's options. He can go after the war machines. He can countercharge Magua, but he can't really pivot to look at the anything over on this half of the board, um, or see anything just because of bases, and his individual pivot doesn't really help him because it's all clustered here. So, and then we decided to because we had a shooting target in this horde, we just kind of chaffed up this one here. I mainly just didn't want everything coming forward. I think that Jesse could have been much more aggressive on the turn that he decided to go in with this horde here. It could have pushed forward everything, um, but he didn't. So now we're just trying to hold him back there while we take out units just one at a time. Also, big thing with throwing these guys up there is I'm hoping that this chariot and the character are able to finish this unit off, and they might be able to then see their reform and position in such a way that they can see stuff on this hill. So that is our goal here. Our shooting does pretty good. I think we get him up to like 10 wounds, 11 wounds total. But we do not quite kill him, unfortunately. Um, yeah, so bummer. We would have loved to get that, but yeah. And Magua does like 5 wounds, but we don't get a waiver. His knight champion chose to take the duelist blade, so he's consistent against the individuals, but less consistent against everything else. So. We do kill the phantoms. I overrun with the knight champion and then get to a fairly nice reform position here with the chariot. So the phantoms currently can't charge the chariot. Um, he will have to move his horde in order to get a charge on me. So, but obviously we give him options, so he can charge stuff. He can get out of the way. Just draw him away from that token. Yeah, so that is how it ended up on Jesse's turn now. Bottom three. This is what we're looking at here. Oh, maybe I took pictures after Jesse's turn. Anyway, no, I don't think I did. So he double charges this horde. He then is able to charge the chariots with just the corner here with the phantoms. He charged the character out at the wing it, which he did have to run straight forward, so it put him just barely through the woods. So he is hindered. Um, and then his horde with the helm is hindered going into Magua now. Um, so if he kills that, he can overrun and get into the flank of this horde, and yeah, it's not fun. But yeah, it is what it is. He also was able to get up to get some healing, and even though his spell ward is in range, he's getting like 4 heals a turn on average with the heal 7, so 5 after the Radiance of Life or gets it. It's just uh, yeah, little annoying. So um yeah. Otherwise, he takes the regiment into the flank, double front. He wants to kill that horde right away. Don't blame him. So after 2 turns with just this one regiment, he kills the horde of goblins. But he did fail to kill Magua. In fact, I think he only did like 2 or 3 wounds total. It was a very poor showing from that horde, but an exceptional showing from this regiment. So yeah. He does kill the other horde and then turns to face towards the left here. Um, yeah, he was afraid of the horde of goblins coming into the flank, so he kept them in the front, but he couldn't keep everybody in the front, so the chariot's in the flank. But it puts the chariot in a awkward spot. Also, this chariot is the one that's worth a extra battle point because it costs a little bit more. So and he kills that horde. Yeah. So going into top 4, this is how we're looking. I guess I didn't take a picture, but he did not kill the wing it. He rolled pretty poorly for the nerve, so the wing it wasn't even wavered. So yeah, turn 4, I went ahead and just moved this horde out of front arc of both of these units because I don't see a point in letting him kill stuff when I don't need to, and I'm not trying to kill him. And then I backed up the chariot so that nothing could see him and charge him except for these phantom unit. This phantom unit, I am trying to plink away at the phantoms with the bow shots. They have 1 wound on them. But yeah, that's I'm just I could have charged the phantoms, but the Dread Fiend was able to see me, and if I don't kill the phantoms, the taking a flank from the Dread Fiend would have spelt the end for this chariot. So I'm trying to just delay some more. Also, if he wants to charge out towards the chariot, that just keeps drawing him further away from the main focus, which is these tokens over here. And then we go ahead and double charge here, and hey, look, that chariot that was over here, it was able to get a rear charge on this unit, so we did that. And the Knight Champion charged his Navigator because fuck Spell Ward Stealthy. We're gonna shut his ass down. Yeah. And then Magua charges the flank of this regiment, you know, hitting on defense 4 at least, uh, because this unit got healed up way too much so that we can't reliably kill it with the front charge from Magua, so we'll just shoot the living crap out of it one more time. We were able to get one of our war machines hopping over, and he's looking into the flank here, so that way he could throw some bombs. So we're infiltrating, we're causing chaos, but maybe hopefully we can kill something. Actually, yay, we did it! We killed that guy. Yeah, just even with a ton of flank shooting from this weapons team was even the flank, and this one and that one. Like the stealthy spell ward is just really pulling its weight, doing enough. So, and obviously when you shoot the front, I don't expect much, but yeah, it just took a lot more than we were really wanting to. So, but the rear charge from the king did work. We picked up a regiment with just the king alone. Um, and nothing's able to see us, so we're just going to sit here with our leader point on the hill and look for some more disruption. Yeah, and oh yeah, we epically failed over here. I think we did. Yeah, we did like 2 wounds to this unit, even with the mincer coming in. It's like okay. Yeah, so it's just taking so much to kill some of these things, and it feels like it shouldn't be. But hopefully it gets easier because we're disordered the navigator, so he's not going to be putting out stealthy spell ward for the next turn at least. And maybe our shooting will do something, so we'll see. Anyway, this going into bottom 4 for Jesse. He was able to take a flank after getting everything else out of the way. Took a flank with just that guy. He did go into the front over here after we did like 2 more wounds with the shooting, but couldn't break the unit, which we probably shouldn't break the unit, but yeah, we're in a position like it's just a weird position here because we're in a position now where that's a fresh chariot. He should not kill us and hopefully doesn't waver us. And if we kill him, we're able to just run by after that because nothing's able to see past this forest. So it's like, oh, this is okay. We got opportunities here. And I have his impalers and this guy. They're all trying to run down a horde that really is meaningless. So I'm okay with this at this point. He commits a lot to killing everything over here, and he had nothing better but a war trombone to charge, so he did. He wants to get rid of Magua, so he brings his character into Magua. Okay. Magua's not winning me this game. So he does kill Magua and sidesteps. He does. Does he kill the? He might have snake eyes that. I forget. We'll look. He kills the mincer, which I think he only did like 2 wounds, but then he rolled like an 8 twice or 9 twice that he needed with brutal or dread in there. So, yeah, he's getting the nerve rolls he needs. We're not. It's unfortunate, but I believe he does Snake Eyes this unit, or he just rolled really bad. Only gets him up to 8, and he wavers him. Gets him to 8 wounds, wavers him. So, um, yeah, he does kill the war trombone. I think he Snake Eyes it originally, and then he used his tournament reroll to kill it. So, but yeah, so that is where we're at there. Um, Lots of stuff has been removed, so I think I skipped some pictures here, but maybe not. This was after shooting. That's what it was. Okay, so we countercharged over here. Countercharged. Our shooting took out the regiment of impalers and the mind screech this turn. Turns out when you shut off stealthy spell ward and you're completely encircling unit, you can actually kill it. Yeah, and then the lightning bolts do work against the only stealthy mind screech. So we're looking a little better, and I think we even had all of our bolt throwers shoot at this unit here. And we did. He popped the blood hex for defense 5. We did a decent amount of wounds, like 5 or something over there. So also, you'll see we got the rear charge, second rear charge of the game for this chariot onto this impaler unit. So, yeah. The navigator. That's right. We fought the navigator again. We charged him. Did what is like 3 or 4 wounds there last turn. He countercharged us with his one attack. Did nothing. So now we're charging him again. but he did graciously line up his Summoner Crone, who was in this position in order to Bane Chant the Chariots last turn. But we kill Navigator, Overrun. We do get the hit on the Crone, and we kill the Crone, so we sidestep to get up on the hill there partly. Yeah, I mean, it's finally kind of turning around here on turn 5. We also kill the Impaler Regiment with that rear charge. So there's a token completely uncontested back here. This one he obviously is sitting on with big unit strength. But, his stuff's dying finally. And I think it was definitely a big gap, big error for Jesse allowing for this chariot and the Knight Champion to get around the flank there. So I also think that Jesse is maybe a little distracted with the units over here that were on the flank. He's left this token uncontested, but bottom 5, I think he kind of realizes that. So he turns his character around and starts running back, putting him in a position to jump onto this token on the last turn. Uh, charges here to kill him. Oh, yeah, I did 1 wound to Phantoms, perfectly average for a Chariot King, and failed to kill him, even though they're not inspired out there. It's like, ah, so painful because now that ruined our window to kill them and be free for the next turn so that we could just run to the token or we could have threatened this guy even with a flank charge so he couldn't be out here looking that way. Yeah, just unfortunate. This guy also has the brutal item, so even with the 1 wound, we only needed a 7 time. But I think this is one of the snake eyes that we rolled. Spoilers, there's some more coming. So, yeah. So this is what Jesse does. He hits the flank there, and he hasn't done that yet. But yeah. So he goes into the little wizard here. He kills the chariots, which had no good reforms, but you know what? That chariot king did his job. He took out 2 regiments. He helped take out a phantom unit. I mean, that guy was worth his weight in gold for sure. He's trying to disrupt the Knight Champion at this point. Going into him. The flank flubs. He does 25 wounds and rolls a snake eyes. So snake eyes shared back to back. He does kill the character. So top 6. This is what it looks like. He kills that horde over here. So we got wavered by his phantoms because of course we did. So we back up because yeah. And then we do what we can over here. So I ran one of the wingets over here to get into the circle, and then we're focusing all the shooting here on the Dreadlord or Dreadfiend, and then any extras try to go into the Knight Champion because Knight Champions are 1 unit strength. We just took the rabble into them to block them up. And the Knight Champion has a pretty decent shot of killing this unit because it's not inspired right now. We had already gotten them up to 5 wounds or so. They should be close to like 5 or 6 wounds after the Cloak of Death. So yeah, and they don't have their defense 5 anymore. So our goal here, and then one of the wingets went over here to start shooting at this horde, just because if there is a turn 7, this horde could get on to the last objective over here. So we want to start putting some wounds into that if we can, and we have some bolt throwers too that could shoot them if we exceed over here. So we get Dreadlord up to 10, 12 wounds or something. So we need 4 twice to kill him. We roll a snake eyes, And yeah. So, you know who else we rolled a snake eyes on? This chariot unit. So, yeah, we failed to kill a couple of key units here in the end, and Jesse's able to just mop stuff up. He kills the Cherry King out on the left. He runs both of his guys over here onto the circle, getting this token. And he started moving over here for this one. Um, yeah, and then he kills a war machine too. So, but this is where the game ends. There was no 7. If there was, we would have had to focus into this unit a decent amount. I mean, they're uninspired, but we'd had to put some stuff into there. Our rest of our shooting probably moves up and tries to take out these things here. Um, Probably have to just ignore the individual at this point. But yeah, turn 7, we just ignored this unit. It has to stay there. We focus fire here and on these guys, and over here, probably with the bolt throwers. Um, Realistically, we probably these phantoms are uninspired. They only need a couple wounds, and then like a 5 one time. So I think we could get them. We easily could get the, the 12, 10, 12 wounded Dread Fiend. And then hopefully there was enough left over to get this guy close. Or even if we get a waiver on him, uh, uh, yeah, I could maybe fly one of these guys onto this guy onto the circle, just to guarantee that we get 2 unit strength on there. But either way, turn 7 I think definitely would have helped spin in our favor, but it's very possible that we could have just failed all over the place again and given up this token back here, which he would have had to kill the regiment, but they're not inspired because our regiment is unit strength 3 with the orb of towering presence. Um, so all in all, a very good game. I think this game was much more tactical. It forced me as the Goblin player into more movement, and as we saw, couldn't just rely on pointing and shooting at anything that we didn't like, that we just wanted to see die. So I definitely enjoyed this game much more from a tactical perspective than the previous ones we've had up to this point. And I think that it probably ends the same way, even if we don't roll the snake eyes at the end here, because I think his knight champion just goes and runs into this circle, and this guy would obviously have been dead. So if his knight champion and this guy are in the circle, he wins that as well. I think it does give us a huge benefit if there is a turn 7. We would have a very good chance of winning the game at that point. But you know, things happen. It's a dice game for a reason. So in the end, I think we got 3 points out of the game, the scenario. Because once again, I wasn't really thinking about the terrain pieces, but even if I was, I don't think I could have gotten them. He definitely had one, two. He had two. I only had the middle one, and we tied for this one. So I could have tied it probably by just slightly adjusting where this wing it is. If it was within 3 of this piece, it's a tie. But um, yeah. So it was a good game, though. Jesse has a very tough army to crack. Um, but as we see, if we do get around, if you do get into the flanks and the rears, those impalers, they are pretty fragile. So, but Had a lot of fun. Great game, Jesse. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. At this point, we are um, where are we at? We were 2 8s and a 7, 23. So we were at 26 out of the possible 40 uh, battle points. Um, there are at least two people well ahead of us, close, 30 and above. But there's quite a few people hovering around the mid to lower 20 mark. So we're sitting pretty good. This was, I don't know if I mentioned, this was a 20-man field. So it is possible that somebody wins the tournament without a perfect record. But I believe right now there's the top table would be undefeated and like 3 wins and a draw players. So they have a pretty decent advantage on us at this point. Um, so we're looking to just finish off with a solid win in the last round, and hope to get something, maybe come away with top evil army or something along those lines. But yeah, uh, thanks for watching game 4, and we'll have game 5 out shortly. Catch you on the next one.